What's up, everybody? This is Alex Christoforou with the Duran, and I have with me the infamous Peter Lavelle, host of Crosstalk on RT. Hello, Peter. Thanks for joining us today. And our topic is going to be North Korea and Kim Jong-un's strange announcement that he may not be going to the summit with Trump in Singapore. So, Peter, we've gone from Little Rocket Man and Fire and Fury to a summit in Singapore. And now, all of a sudden, because of these military drills, these Max Thunders, what they're called, military drills with the South Koreans, Kim Jong-un, through the state media agency, has announced that they may pull out. What is going on in North Korea? Please explain.
Well, let me give this as an introduction. As I watched all the cable news over the last 24 hours after this story broke, I had to say that my sleeve's kind of short, but I was laughing out of it. Everybody, this is called parlay. This is part of the process here. Buckle up. Wait for impact. It's going to be like this. This is perfectly normal. Now you have John Bolton in the last few news cycles saying, I want them to pack up their nukes and send them over to North Carolina, wherever it is in the United States, wherever Gaddafi's stuff is. I mean, the Koreans are saying, whoa. We got to sit at the table first, okay? See, this is this kind of transactional approach that Trump and Bolton have for very different reasons, okay? Trump thinks this is like a real estate deal, and he's just going to go in and close it, okay? I guess that's you can kind of forgive him a little bit for that. Bolton, you don't, okay? Because Bolton, he sees negotiations as a form of compromise and appeasement. See, diplomacy is a dirty word in his mind, okay? And what I think is that he's happy about this. He's happy about this announcement. He doesn't want to sit at the table. He probably doesn't want to shake Mike Pompeo's hand because he shook hands with the Rocket Man, okay? So, you have to look at this. There's a number of dynamics that are coming together here. I remain fundamentally optimistic, cautiously optimistic. The interesting thing is that, again, Sean Hannity and the rest of them can't seem to figure out. And of course, CNN hasn't been able to have a unique, intelligent thought for decades. Is that this announcement it plays into what I've said all along. How did this process really begin? Okay, this is when Trump became president and said, fire and fury. No. Let's step back. This has been on Kim Jong-un's mind for years, is to create a nuclear deterrent. When you have a nuclear deterrent, you earn a place at the table. This hasn't been going on for the last few months. This has been going on for years. This testing site, they're going to take it down because they don't need to test anymore. Okay, that's a PR a ploy on their part. That's fine. It's part of parlay. Okay, so it's not wet our pants, everybody, because the most important element that's going on now is not North Korea and the United States. This exceptionalist attitude that the U.S. has, particularly on steroids with Trump, is not the main story. The main story is what's going on the Korean Peninsula. Okay, it's the South Koreans going to be asking for clarification. At the end of the day, the summit with Trump doesn't matter. What matters is what kind of an agreement the two Koreas can have. That's what's really important here. And this is what Bolton and company are terrified of. That two groups of people that have been at each other's throats for 68 years might sit down and say, enough is enough, let's move forward, when you have the Chinese and the Russians as guarantors. Where's the place of the United States? It ain't there. And this is what is really bothering the deep state. So Bolton's got to be really pleased about that because he wants a military solution. He certainly does. And given the opportunity, he will do it. We know his history. We know his past. At his age, do you think he's going to change? So what's happening now is part of the parlay. I don't think everybody has to get all wound up about this. This is just one step. And you have to also know the North Koreans are acutely aware that Trump wants a win, okay? And they're going to play with them. Trump is being played every step of the way. It's not that he dragged them to the table. No. Anyone that says that doesn't have a clue of what they're talking about. This is a long-term process. It's already been a long-term process, and it will continue. We will see steps, and you have to create confidence. Now, Mr. Trump may not have the patience for it. We certainly know that Bolton doesn't. But I think the South Koreans do. I think the Chinese do. It's not that the Chinese said, go to the peace table. No. Rocket Man went to Beijing twice, and he basically showed his plan. And the Chinese say, it's a pretty good plan, and we'll back you up. Okay? And the original plan came from the Russians and the Chinese. Correct. Freeze for freeze. Correct. Have you heard that? Alex, have you heard that term lately? No. But that's what's in play.
So at looking into your crystal ball, you're optimistic that they will meet on Tuesday and the summit will go on as planned. What should we, if it does go on, as let's say we're confident that it will, what should we expect as a result from the summit in realistic terms?
What we have to, let me answer it this way. What would be a win-win for everybody? We're not going to see complete denuclearization of the peninsula. No, that's the goal.
Right.
That's the goal. It's not going to happen at the summit. Okay? The North Koreans learned the lesson of Libya and Gaddafi. They will not do that under any circumstances. And any reasonable observer of what's going on here will understand that. And that will. But the thing is that when you have the corporate media, the deep state, the defense contractors, and Bolton and Pompeo, they're going to stab their own boss in the back if he doesn't get that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Alex, this has been going on for 68 years. It ain't going to be solved over eggplant, okay? It's like, it's spring rolls. I think the Koreans eat spring rolls. It's not going to happen fast. But what we need is to build up confidence. And the North Koreans definitely, Kim Jong-un knows that he has to start building up his infrastructure. He knows the Chinese and the South Koreans can help, all right? And I foresee maybe a long-term. In China, we have with Hong Kong, we have one country, two systems. I think we could have one country and two systems and see how it evolves, okay? We know public opinion in South Korea is overwhelmingly for some kind of rapprochement, okay? And Moon, President Moon in South Korea, if anybody's talking about Nobel, it goes to him because he's had the courage to stand up. And of course, you could see the etiquette. He's always thanking and massaging Trump, but actually it's a Korea dynamic. And that's a way to keep our eye on there. If things go sour between the two Koreas, then we have to be concerned. Trump is the sideshow, okay? And of course, Rocket Man, he wants to be at the table with the adults, okay? There's going to be a lot of theatrics going on here. We're going to have to learn how to deal with that. But this whole process is not the last few months. It's been years. The North Koreans have a strong card. They have a right to sit at the table. And they're going to protect that card, okay? And they're going to get what they think is worth taking that card off the table, okay? And I think, broadly speaking, it's possible, but it's really the wild card is not Kim, it's Trump and the people around him. Will they let him win? Okay, so that's where we stand right now. So the last couple of news cycles, just brush it aside. It really is just frivolous. Okay, there's nothing to panic about. But if Trump and his team say the precondition to sit at the table is denuclearization, then there won't be any summit. Let me be clear. Okay, there won't be. If that's going to be the precondition.
Given what happened in Iran with Trump pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal, and what you said right now with the team around Trump being the wild card as to whether the summit will yield any results, any tangible results, do you think that Bolton and Pompeo and all the characters surrounding Trump that want to, quote unquote, try to sabotage a successful summit. Do you think they have that type of influence to succeed?
Nominally, yes. I mean, because I'm looking at the histories of all of these characters and their whole approach to diplomacy, which is antithetical to diplomacy. So Trump's got a really uphill struggle on his hands right now. We still don't know. Bolton's been on the job for a short amount of time. We really don't know what kind of pull and influence he has right now. So we'll have to see. One thing, Trump is his own master. Okay, he can get bad. He'll accept bad advice, but he's also a man that wants his place in history, and it's all about Trump always, right? It's not America first; it's about Trump first, and we'll see if he can maneuver between them. To answer your question, maybe just another question has to be posed: is I'd really like to know what the dynamic is between those two guys. We still really don't know, but. The fact that Trump pulled out of the Iran deal, okay, he ran on it. We both know that was part of his platform, and he wants to be able to go in the midterms and say, check, 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 check. I don't think he has the foggiest idea of the implications of what his decision really means. I mean, this is a cascade of events that is very difficult to put at the same time in the Middle East. We have a new government coming in Iraq. We have Hezbollah, more empowered in Lebanon. We have a very murky situation going on between Russia and Israel vis-a-vis Syria, which we can talk later about. So it's a really dynamic going on, big dynamic. And the North Koreans are all of them. Said this for months now. The North Koreans have taken on board the history of U.S. behavior in the Middle East. That's going to make them better negotiators, Alex, better negotiators, because they know just about every single point of trajectory that the Americans could take. Okay, first, they're not going to trust them. Okay, there's no reason to trust the U.S. After looking at what we've seen in the Middle East for the last 6 years, and they know that. Okay, so will Trump get a good deal? I don't know, but I think the North Koreans will. Yeah,
they will. And finally, Peter, we all know how Trump will take the results of the summit if it does go well and self-promote himself to the American public. How do you think the mainstream media in the U.S. will present the summit?
I think they'll choke on their own barf. It'll be really hard for them to deal with it. I mean, that's for me part of the spectacle. Part of the spectacle. All right. I guess since Russian collusion is dying, I guess now it's Korean collusion. I mean, how many hotels does Trump have in North Korea? I don't know. You know what I mean. I mean, it'll be almost impossible for them to stomach this if something. And maybe Trump will even give the North Koreans a little bit of slack just for that pleasure. We'll see. But let's not discount the fact that the midterms are coming up, and Trump wants to show that he's strong. And the way the media has played the North Korean story for the last 2 decades, it'll be easy for Trump to manipulate that. So we'll see. I mean, these are amazingly interesting and dangerous times to live in. But we started out. Let's finish on the same point here. Let's not overreact to the comments coming out of North Korea. Let's see how it plays out. Both sides want something. It's not exactly the same thing. We're going to see if they can find some kind of middle ground. It's fascinating. It's a textbook case study of how diplomacy could or may or won't work.
Absolutely. Well, let's definitely see what happens next week, and let's do another video and break the whole thing down for all our viewers. Thank you, Peter Lavelle.
Right. Challenge me with my own words. Okay, now it's hard.
Thank you, Peter Lavelle, for explaining to us exactly what's happening in North Korea, something you will not hear on the mainstream media. For everyone viewing this video, thank you very much. Remember to hit that red subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get updates every time we push a new video out. And also visit drnshop.com. Get yourself a cool shirt, get yourself a retro poster. We have a lot of good merchandise. Support the Duran. Until next time, everybody, take care.